สวัสดีครับ Hello everyone. My name is Varit Indrama. I'm a Director of Strategic Industry and Investment Department, Thailand Center of Excellence for Life Science. Today I will talk about entrepreneur development for life science business, case study from TCL. I like to separate for the content. The first about the market opportunity for life science business. And the second is the mechanism for entrepreneur development. For the first content, Thailand life science market opportunity, I like to explain you that how the life science business important for Thailand and in the detail how much about the market value in the life science business. First of all, I'd like to explain about the definitions of the life science business for the Thailand Center of Excellence. We comport for the many industry to the life science business. The first of all is a pharmaceuticals. We classify for the three type of product. The first is a medical medicine, traditional medicine, and the advanced therapy medicinal product. The second, medical device and equipment. We separate for the device, material, and reagent and informatics. The third, the cosmetic and food supplement. The last is a healthcare services. We separate for the illness services and wellness services. By the way, although we separate for the four business, but we convergent to the one as the life science business. Under Thailand national strategy, the government create for the various policy to push the life science business as the Thailand's growth engine for the future. Every part under the government right to focus on the life science business. For example, Board of Investment focused on the medical device and biotech industry. For the Eastern Economic Corridor, focus on medical and comprehensive healthcare. And the Biocircular Green focus on health and medical. In another hand, for the private sector, for Stock Exchange of Thailand, they have many mechanisms to promote business, especially in the life science business, to the market capital. Under the data of the Department of Business Development, Ministry of Commerce, we have a number of the revenue retold to the 2017 to 2019. It looks like the business of life science have high growth in the past, and in the 2020 we have registrations capital in Thai more than the past about 20%. Before we talk about the TCL entrepreneur development model, I'd like to recap about the concept idea that TCL used to develop the entrepreneur. The philosophy of the entrepreneur development. We believe that the Timon model can help to develop the entrepreneur. The key success factor in this model as a three main area. The first is the opportunity, the second is the resources, and the last is the team. If TCL can help every entrepreneur have a suitable key success factor, it can help the entrepreneur to develop the business to sustainable development. The other belief, we believe to the open innovation. We believe that cannot that everyone can do everything. we have to separate or we have to allocate the responsibility to help together to do the business success. If we have the current market, we have internal technology base, we can push everything at the conventional process. But if we have internal technology base, we can have another way to develop for the other market. And we can develop for the venture handy to the outside and come to inside in the current market. For the external technology base, we can acquire that technology and use in the current market. Or maybe external technology base can develop and put on to other market. For the last, we can outsource external technology to the current market. As the previous, we believe we develop the mechanism for the entrepreneur developments as follow. The first step, we analyze the opportunity for the entrepreneur. That analysis we separate for the future analysis and current situation analysis. The future analysis is mean the product that have high potential for the 5 to 10 years. And the current situation analysis, it means the current market opportunity as well. For the future analysis, we found for the 4 types of the product. The first is a pharmacogenomics. The second is a ATMP or advanced therapy medicinal product. The third is a nutrigenomics, and the last is a nutraceutical. If in the detail of the ATMP, we found specific product for the 4 types. The first is a somatic cell therapy medicinal product. The second is a gene therapy medicinal product, the tissue engineering product, and the combined ATMP. In the current situation analysis, we found for the 4 types as well. The first is a pharmaceutical, the second is a cosmeceutical, the third is an advanced medical device, and the last is a functional food. If in specific for the pharmaceutical, we focus on the new drug and new generic drug. After we analyze the opportunity for entrepreneur, we analyze again for the state of business of the entrepreneur that T-cell will help to create business. We separate for the T stage of the business. The first is a beginner, the second is a intermediate, and the last is a advanced. Every stage is not the same resources or the same need to support. The first beginner like to put their technology to the market, or maybe that like the tech transfer to other, maybe to another company, or maybe to the other market. Intermediate is not the same. Intermediate like to merger or acquisition some resources or some fund. In the advanced stage, like to go to the market capital. Almost the part, the beginner like to grow to the intermediate, and the intermediate like to go to the market. By the way, the T-cell will support every state not the same. At the beginner, the T-cell support the entrepreneur to acquire the system by funding or by the help to the market accept the technology, or help to the market capability assessment. Intermediate, the T-cell help to find some source of loan from the government bank or from the business angel to support the intermediate state and help to explain the market almost in the local market. But sometimes we can help them to explain for the international market. For the advanced, we find some mechanism to the capital market, and we find for some international market expansion to help the entrepreneur that advanced state, and we help they to get some standard back office operation that is a requirement for the stock exchange of Thai. In the conclude, for the beginner, we help for the team, and we help for the resource for every state. After that, the result that the TSL help to the entrepreneur promote their business. We classify to the general resources and specific resources. For the general resources, we have a software for standard back office or standard operation that require from the Stock Exchange of Thailand. And another part is a training program for entrepreneurs. Specific resources is look like for the commercialized platform for life science technology and matchmaker platform and business matching. And the last is a level up training program for technologies. In the another approach, team look like is a specific resource because the beginner needs support for the various fields. For example, some technologies like to develop the business. Some business that's the life science come from the demand. It means about the market will find for some operative product and push to the market. In the first, it means about the technologies like team to be the business development. But in another hand, if we start with the business requirement, they need for the technology support. If we talk about the mechanism, especially for the life science business development by T-cell, we can separate for the two parts. The first part is under the T-cell missions, and the second part, these T-cell will cooperate with the other organizations, the capital market development fund, to help for the entrepreneur in business as the life science. Under the T-cell missions, T-cell will help entrepreneur as the role of the accelerator, both of business and technology accelerator. In the technology accelerator, T-cell can help the entrepreneur as the granting and the supporting. In other part or other approach in the business accelerator, T-cell help the entrepreneur as the training program and consulting services. In the training program, we separate for the two groups of the entrepreneur. The first is a naive startup or SME, and the second is experienced startup and SME. It's not the same because a naive startup like to the basic information or basic educations, but experienced SMEs like for some advanced knowledge. Then T-cell propose or help the knowledge is not the same. For the naive startup SME, almost we educate them for the basic knowledge in the approach of business development, in the approach of technology development, and we create for the networking for them. But in the experienced startup and SME, we propose for the advanced knowledge, and it's not the same supporting program, not the same level. Another mechanism that T-Cell cooperate with other organizations to help or to promote the entrepreneur in the lifestyle business. We training them to know about the future, how to know that the opportunity for the future. After that, we screen them by the technology readiness level and commercialized readiness index and the market capital readiness level. If they can to get the criteria, T-Cell and Alliance will support them to get advanced resources or an advanced education. But if they cannot to meet the criteria, we will help them for another approach as the knowledge for the capital market assessment and technology development. And finally, I hope that some information that I talk about will help you to make some decision to invest in the Thailand lifestyle business, or maybe help you to have some information to develop some business that relate with Thai lifestyle business. Thank you very much, and please feel free to contact me or can contact the T-Cell. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณครับ
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kritawit Mathayamagun, Director of Thailand Board of Investment, Seoul Office. Today, my presentation will cover 4 topics, starting with the biotechnology development in Thailand, and then I will go through the sectors of opportunities, and following with the BOI's investment incentives, and the last one, our BOI support and services. Right now, biotechnology in Thailand has been through over 3 decades of development. Today, with our superb infrastructure and strategic location in the center of Southeast Asia, Thailand is a home of many well-established world tech labs and pharma companies, and it is ready to embrace the new wave of advanced biotechnology development. And bioeconomy is also a new ambition of the Thai government, one of the 10 target growth engine industries under the new Thailand 4.0 growth model, which focus on the concept of productive and green growth to enhance the country's competitiveness, economic development. And the first key advantage of Thailand to be a research hub for biotechnology is its hot and humid climate, which can support the tropical ecosystems that have a large variety of plants, animals, and microbe species wild. And Thailand has approximately 15,000 species of plants, which account for approximately 10% of estimated total number of plant species found globally. So Thailand is a leading global supplier of the raw agricultural products, and Thailand is the top exporter of bio-based materials such as cassava, sugar, and palm oil. And also Thailand was ranked 16 on biodiversified countries in the world. So the government has adopted so-called BCG model, which stands for circular and green economies, and as a framework for economic development to reach Our ambition goals of increasing the country's GDP by 1 trillion baht within the next 5 years. This new model will not only help the local economies to be more self-sufficient, but also will enable Thailand's capacity to achieve the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. And in terms of bioeconomy, the government plans to apply knowledge, technology, and innovation to enhance the bioresources management and also to increase the production of value-added products. For circular economy, zero waste is the key principle of the Thai government to reduce waste by adjusting and adapting the production process. And the last one, we also focus on promoting sustainability in all dimensions, especially in improving environment through the concept of the green economy. So the sector of opportunity is biopharmaceutical. According to data from Council of University President of Thailand, they indicate that more than 98% of Thai citizens are unable to afford medicines that are imported. So to relieve the situation and to reduce the dependency on the foreign countries for medicines, and biopharmaceutical industry needs to be developed further. And indeed, the sector has recently received significant funding for R&D and for technical advancement. And the scope of biopharmaceutical activities, as shown in this slide, is quite huge. But in the context of Thailand, developing and registering biopharmaceutical is among the prioritized areas. So in a desire to make Thailand one of the top 5 nations in Asia for biopharmaceutical production by 2036, the Ministry of Public Health has established a 20-year biopharmaceutical roadmap. This plan has set a range of different milestone short-term goals in the period of every 5 years. And this slide shows you the Eastern Economic Corridor, or we call ENG. Actually, it is a flagship mega project that aims to support the development of advanced technology in Thailand, including biotechnology. This area covers around 13,000 square kilometers across the 3 provinces of Chachoengsao, Chonburi, and Rayong. And ENG has 5 design promotional zones, such as a medical hub called ECMD, Digital Park Thailand, or we call ECD, and innovation platform called CI. So to develop this area, we have many big projects, including the high-speed train link to the 3 major airports that in fast and convenience transfer between ENG and the capital city, including Bangkok, as well as the massive development of the 3 Lam Chabang and Makaput seaports, which will be connected together by double-track railway networks in the future. And right now, Thailand has hosted a number of facilities that are instrumental in developing the Thai biome. What is worth mentioning here is Thailand Science Park, or we call it TSP. It is the country's first science and technology park with the mission of promote innovation development and R&D activities in the private sector. It's located in Pathum Thani provinces. The TSP offers fully integrated R&D environment, attractive R&D incentives, and comprehensive facilities and services. And the next one, Biopolis, is an area in Eastern Economic Corridor, or we call it ENG. that is designed as an innovation platform for biotechnology. The first phase of biopolis strategic technology areas are innovation agriculture, functional ingredients, and bioprocess technology. To meet the goal of becoming a top Asian nation in the production of biopharmaceuticals, collaborations among the different stakeholders will continue to be a driving force behind. One example is the National Biopharmaceutical, which was initiated in 2008 as a result of the collaborations between the King's University of Technology, Thonburi, and the National Center of Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology. The purpose of such initiative is to boost Thailand's translational and clinical research activities and to form a linkage between R&D and commercialization, and to enhance Thailand's overall competitiveness in the biopharmaceutical industry. Thailand's pharmaceutical market is right now ranked the 8th largest in the Asia Pacific region, and it is considered one of the largest and the most developed in Asia. It was valued at $4.6 billion in 2016 and forecasted to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 6.2% to reach $8.4 billion by 2026. And the synthetic chemicals lead local sales with 70% share, followed by the biological drug 30%, and the sales of biological drug posed a high growth of 16 to 19% in 2019. And it may reach 50% of the local market in 10 years. Thailand also got a high potential in becoming the emerging biopharmaceuticals hub of the region, given the Thailand's capabilities in the clinical trials, infrastructures, and abundant biopharmaceutical-related trial subjects. Before we go through the details of the biotechnology and biopharmaceutical incentives, let me tell you about my basic incentive first. To promote investment in Thailand, the tax incentives. The tax incentives, including the corporate income tax exemption and the exemption of import duty on machinery and the raw material which produce for export. And for non-tax incentive, you can have 100% share foreign ownership. You have right to buy land, and then you may have the permission to bring your staffs and expats to Thailand. And of course, we also do provide visa and work permit. So to give you the incentives, the first step, your activity must be on our 130 activity list, and then we will provide you the standard incentives, which is considered by activity-based and technology-based. So you may get the corporate income tax exemption up to 10 years, plus the additional incentive in case you want to do some work, such as R&D, advanced technology training, or your project is located in the area or located so you will get one tax exemption for each group. And of course, Thailand Board of Investment has introduced the incentives to support the biotechnology industry through the maximum incentive package, comprised of the 8 years corporate income tax exemption and some additional 50% corporate income tax break for 5 years if facilities are located in the area or located in science and technology parks, and also some R&D activities to get some corporate tax break. So for the biotechnology research and development, all activities on this line, for example, R&D activities and manufacturing of biopharmaceutical agents using biotechnology and manufacturing of biomolecule and bioactive substance using microorganisms, plant cells or animal cells. Those will get the same incentives at 8 years corporate tax exemption starting, plus the exemption of import duties on machinery, exemption of import duties on the raw material which produced for export, and some tax incentives. So these are the examples of biopharmaceutical industries in Thailand. The first one, Greater Pharma, is the first company in Thailand to apply and receive a license for biopharmaceuticals. In order to enhance the competitiveness of the company, Greater Pharma is pursuing joint research with the institutes and the universities on biopharmaceuticals. Another one is a cell research company established with the vision and determination of the doctors and researchers to win further life-threatening disease. And as a leader in the cancer treatment, WinCell have developed cancer treatment under the name WinK cells and integrated treatment to cancer. The last one, BGIC, Thai biotechnology developer, to elevate the local biopharmaceutical industry to international standards and become the top research and manufacturing hub for biopharmaceutical development ASEAN. BGIC also has a team up with the South Korea biotech company named Medicinal to jointly develop Thailand's pharmaceutical industry among the biopharmaceutical market. So how do we support you? Besides the incentive, we have a BOI's unit to facilitate investors' operation in Thailand called the Strategic Talent Center or STC. This unit is a focal point providing services and identify the availability of specialists or researchers in the fields of science and technology to support private sectors. They need to do R&D and innovation activities in Thailand. And we also have another support program called Smart Visa that attract highly skilled and powered investors to speed up the development of the country's target industry, including professionals, investors, executives, startup entrepreneurs, and their family to stay in Thailand by getting Smart Visa up to 4 years. I also offers the various services as the one-stop investment center, or we call OSOS. At the OSOS, we can help you to speed up the process of submitting application. So help you to contact with related government agencies, such as help you to register the companies, because we want you Smart Visa and to and that's all of my presentation today. So if you have any questions, the UI is now offering online meeting services. If you wish to schedule an online meeting with us, all UI executive and staffs will stay fully engaged and ready to help all the time. So you may contact us at Vice Office or contact directly to our headquarters in case you are watching from Thailand. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Vitawat Bancha from Medicine's Regulation Divisions, the Thailand Food and Drug Administration, or Thai FDA. Today, I would like to give you a talk about the Thailand regulations on pharmaceutical products. And in these presentations, I would like to cover the introductions of the Thai FDA and the Medicine Regulation divisions, the regulatory point of view for pharmaceutical products, and the drug registration procedure. And the last topic, I would like to talk about our approach in order to support and promote the science and the technology of pharmaceutical products. First, I would like to start about the Thai FDA roles and the responsibilities. The Thai FDA, we have the three main missions. The first three, we are regulating and monitoring the health products to make them meet the quality, safety, and efficacy at the standard that we recognize or the international standard. Secondly, we are promoting and supporting the capability of the consumer knowledge regarding to the health products. Thirdly, we are promoting and enhancing the international competitiveness of our stakeholders for the health product development. This is the organization structure of the Thai FDA. The Thai FDA is the organization under the Ministry of Public Health, and the Thai FDA can be divided into two parts. The first part is the product divisions, and the latter part is the support divisions. In the product divisions, you can see there will be the drug control, narcotic control, food control, medical device control, and etc. And each product divisions, they have the laws and the regulations for each product according to the law that they have. Like a drug controls, this is the responsibility of the medicine regulation divisions, and we have the drug acts and the amendments, and today we are focusing on this. The medicine regulation divisions have the 6 subdivisions. The first one is the pre-marketing controls. These subdivisions mainly take a responsibility about the drug registration, like the biological products, the veterinary drugs, the drug advertisement, and the investigational drugs. The chemical drugs, formally, if the actually is ever been in under the pre-marketing control subdivisions, but right now they just separate and become the subdivisions, like the chemical drug subdivisions. And the post-marketing control subdivisions, they take a responsibility for the GMP inspection and the drug surveillance and the licensure for the manufacturing and the importing of the pharmaceutical products. The standard and the regulation subdivisions, they are working on the laws and the regulation development on the pharmaceutical products or the drug act and the drug re-evaluation process. The system development subdivisions, they are working on the drug approved database and the information technology, like IT things about the pharmaceutical products and the international affairs as well. When we start talking about the drugs in Thailand, I would like to start about the definitions, because each country, they have their own definitions, and that might be a little bit different in each country. So in Thailand, for the drugs according to the Drug Act, this means the substance recognized by the pharmacopoeias notified by the minister, or the substance intended to use for the diagnosis, treatment, cure, or prevention of human or animal disease or illness, or the substance intended to affect the health, structures, or function of the human or animal bodies. Based on my opinions, the drugs can be divided into 4 categories, such as chemical drugs, biological products, veterinary drugs, investigational drugs. For the chemical drugs, they can have the subcategory like new drugs and the generic drugs. But for the biological products, they have the 4 subcategories. The first one is biopharmaceuticals, like protein drugs, the monoclonal antibody, the biosimilar, is belong to this subcategory. The vaccine, either it is using for the human or animals, blood products. And the ATMP, this is the new subcategory under the biological products. ATMP is the advanced therapeutic medicinal products. The example of this subcategory is cell therapy, gene therapy, and tissue engineering. When you're thinking about the commercialize of the pharmaceutical products or drugs in Thailand, you need to know about the laws and the regulations. And this is one of the best way if you want to follow up or update about the laws and the regulation of the pharmaceutical products in Thailand. Just click on this link, the www.fda.moph.go.th. When you click on this link, you're going to see the web page of the Medicine Regulation Divisions. And in the red circles is the laws and the regulation on drugs. In this web page, you can update about the Drug Acts and the news amendment and the Ministerial Ordinance, the Ministry announcement and the Thai FDA announcement to see the detail about the drug registration, the GMP inspections, or the post-marketing requirements on your pharmaceutical products. So this is the way to update the laws and the regulations. Next, I would like to talk about the general procedure for the drug registrations. Generally, for the drug registration process, this can be like a 5-step. The first step is the optional, the pre-submission meetings. This pre-submission meeting is the meeting that the MAH or the market authorization holder can have with the Thai FDA to talk about the drugs that they need to register or talk about the package of the data that we have for the products that want to be registered. And also talk about the regulatory perspective of the Thai FDA on that products or about the additional requirement that we need. The second step is a data submission. So you have to prepare the data on the quality, safety, and efficacy of your products and submit into our system. And together, when you do the data submission, you have to provide us about the manufacturing standard as well, the GMP. And because Thai FDA is the member of the PICS or PICS member, so the GMP that we recognize, it should be the GMP PICS standard. When you submit the data, we're gonna start screening your data, and if everything okay, your data package gonna move to the next step, the reviewing process. This process, we're gonna see the evaluate the data on the quality, safety, and efficacies. And the last thing is a risk benefit assessment to see that your products have the benefit outweigh the risk or not. If yes, we're gonna approve your products. But sometimes we cannot make decisions for the drug approval. So sometimes we appoint the advisory committee meeting here to see if the product should be approved or not. If we have the favorable comments or favorable opinions that we need to approve this product. So the drug get approved, but once your product get approved, you have to comply with the conditions and the requirements, like a post-marketing requirements, like a SMP, safety monitoring program, or the RMP, risk management plan. That I'm gonna talk about it later. Just for the conclusions, if you want to commercialize the products in Thailand, first, you have to be the manufacturing authorization holder by having the drug manufacturing or import license. So when you have this paper, you can manufacture and import the pharmaceutical products, but still not yet commercialized or marketing in the public health system. When you want to commercialize or do the marketing for the pharmaceutical products in the public health system in Thailand, you need to have these two papers. The first one is drug approval credential certificate. And the second one is the GMP certificate or GMP clearance letter. When you have these two papers, you can manufacture or import your pharmaceutical products to do the commercialize in the Thailand public health system. And the key concept for market authorizations or the drug approved for the Thai FDA, just thinking about the risk benefit assessment. Every single drugs in Thailand or every single drugs that would like to commercialize in the Thailand public health system, they have to pass the risk benefit assessment. So they have to show that your products have the benefit outweigh the risk. And before it can demonstrate the benefit outweigh the risk, the quality is the important thing. You have to show us about the manufacturing standard. Is that the well controls for the manufacturing process and they have the consistency in each batch or not? If the quality is reliable, so we can reliable on the safety data and the efficacy data, and we can make the regulatory decision on that product for the drug approval. For the drug registration package, you can choose either the ICS CTD or ACTD, ASIN CTD. The ACTD and the ICS CTD is a little bit different for the module for your preparing format, but the data inside is not that different, so you can choose either one, because mainly that you need to provide us is about the quality data, non-clinical study data, and the clinical study data, which is very important for the registration. And the post-marketing requirements, after your product get approved, you have to comply with the post-marketing requirement. Actually, some products may have special requirement or the unique requirements. If your product is the vaccine, mostly they have to do the process lot release for every batch that import or manufacture and want to get into the public health system or to do the commercializations. Good manufacturing practice, and also next year, the good distribution practice will be fully enforced. So you have to concern about that as well. For the new products like a new chemical drugs or the new biological products, you have to do the safety monitoring program. But some products, they have to do the risk management plan instead of the SMP. Like if you register for the erythropoietin, botulinum toxin, or biosimilar, or product approved via the EUA channel, the emergency use authorizations, you have to do the risk management plan. And the risk management plan is very important tools for us to use for the support and promote the science and the technology on pharmaceutical products that I'm going to talk about it in the last topic. Mostly I'm just talking about the drug registrations, and I think I have to cover about this information as well, about the investigational new drugs. If you're thinking about doing the clinical trial in Thailand, you have to submit the package, the IND package, to the Thai FDA. And right now, we're developing the regulations on the good clinical practice, because according to the new amendments of the Drug Act, they're just concerned about the protection of the safety of the volunteer participating in the drug research. So that's the reason why we're developing the regulation on the good clinical practice. So if you are thinking on the clinical trials, doing the clinical trials in Thailand, you may need to concern about the good clinical practice as well. And this is the last topic that I would like to talk about. It's about our approach and the strategies that the Thai FDA would like to develop the regulatory system for the pharmaceutical products to cover a product life cycles. The strategy include support and promote science and technology for the pharmaceutical products using in the public health system in Thailand. Secondly, it's accelerate access to medicine for patients. And the last one, the last strategy is strengthening the safety and the efficacy monitoring strategy after the product get into the public health system. For our strategies, the three main strategies, this is expand our laws. Actually, the Thai FDA, we mostly have the laws on the market authorizations. But with this strategy, the Thai FDA has to expand our laws to cover the drug development phase as well. And with these reasons, we need to use the regulatory science to turn the data science into the social science data, and we can make the regulatory decisions, the drug approved or the drug have to use the public health system or not. If they use, they have the benefit outweigh the list, or we can manage the list of the products that we're using in the public health system. So this is quite important thing when we try to implement the strategy to develop our regulatory system to support and promote the pharmaceutical product development and the technology. And with these reasons, we try to, in order to expand our roles to cover the drug development phase. So Thai FDA, we have to be both the regulators and the facilitator at the same time. And that's why we create the regulatory environment. So the Thai FDA, we set up the panel called the Prior to Pre-Marketing Authorization Regulatory Pathway to the Novel Medicines. This is just like a growth mindset and the scientific driven approach that the Thai FDA just opened for the science and the new technologies or the innovative products. So we can talk to the manufacturing authorization, market authorization holder or the pharmaceutical companies about your innovative products, what we need, and our how about our regulatory perspective? What is the requirement? Because the Thai FDA, we just want to make sure that every product have the quality, safety, and efficacy. So we not block the technology development or the innovations. And if you are interested in this panel, you can click on this link. You can see the detail about the procedures and the form that you have to fill in before submitting to the Thai FDA. So the reason that we develop the regulatory environment like that, actually, we would like to speed up the access to the medicine for the patients. But this doesn't mean that we just compromise about the quality, safety, and efficacies. Actually, we use the list-based approach. Your products, either it is a newly developed innovative products, you still need to provide us about the qualities, about how you manufacturing the products, how about the quality control of the products. Lacking of this information is very vital, and it can make your safety profile or efficacy profiles not reliable. If you have very good profile of the qualities, so we can measure your safety and efficacy profile. If your safety profile have enough data to predict the safety when using in the public health system in Thailand, or efficacy have like a Thai population or Asian population in your clinical trial, and we can extrapolate that using this product in Thailand will be okay and have the benefit of the list. Or you can just show that your products have the substantial efficacy and safety profiles. We can make the regulatory decisions. But this regulatory decision, when we approve, is going to be the conditionally approved. That will come together with the list management plan that I just mentioned earlier. The list management plan is very important for the conditional approval, because we use this tool in order to get more information on your products about the safety and the efficacy, and we can use this data to re-evaluate your products before the drug get the full approval. This slide is not yet fully implemented, but we just developing the regulations, and soon we're gonna announce it officially. So this is my presentation. I just give you in just like 20 minutes to talk about the introduction of the Thai FDA and the medicine regulation divisions, general procedure for the drug registrations, and also I talk about what is the approach and the strategies of the Thai FDA in order to support and promote the science and the technology of the pharmaceutical products throughout the product life cycles by using the regulatory science. And this is my presentation. Thank you for your attention.